for you about somebody that has made promises, probably told you that they were working on the emotional health or addressing third-party blocks to your relationship. Now, keep in mind, this could be about a friendship. This could be someone that you're in, like it's your work best friend or something. But I do think for the majority of you, this would be a romantic connection where somebody is making this, promise or multiple promises. I'll go to your cousin's wedding with you, or I'll help you, I'll drive you to the airport or whatever. It's probably more serious than that. It's probably more so whether or not they can be in this relationship or change certain behaviors that had caused problems in the past. So let's go in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. Oh, we need a little bit more. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Let's see what else we get for you. We're going to go with the Meta Muse. What else do we have? Oh, and as far as an update on the candles, a huge thank you to those of you who have participated in the test group. I think I'm going to bring that to a close soon and then actually launch the Etsy site. So, of course, I'll be sure to let you all know about that. I definitely feel like I have a better understanding of what I want as far as the details, right? Like the supplier for wax, things like that. So, feeling pretty awesome about it. But I will keep you posted. I made some more yesterday. We have the Queen of Wands, Three of Wands in the reverse, and the Queen of Cups in the reverse. This is someone who struggled to deal with the emotions that they were dealing with the Queen of Cups in the reverse. I think this is someone who felt like they were pulled between two different people. Like I have an obligation from my family, but I also have a partner that wants me to be there for them for this. So we have this person who felt like they had to make a decision between important people or entitled people and you, something along those lines. But I also kind of feel like this is somebody who is, it's like they have a tendency to blame others and not want to take culpability or say, you know what, I probably could have handled that a little bit better. Hello, Gary. How are you doing? Hello, Mr. Steves. So we have the Six of Wands and the Three of Swords. I won't let you down. I can't do this. Oh, yeah, no, I got you. I can do that for sure. I'll be getting that for sure. And then we got the Three of Swords. Just kidding. I can't. This is a letdown or a disappointment at the last minute after someone had already had a conversation about what made this difficult for them. Oh, I don't know if I can be a part of your wedding because then I'm going to have to deal with my ex who's in the bridal party as well. Oh, I don't know if I can spend that money. Can I say that money? Sorry. Hello, Jen. How are you doing? What do you mean by that, Jen? Does that mean you don't feel like they resonated? I do have a playlist selection if you're looking for something by theme or even by astrological sign. I do have all signs as well, so hopefully those will resonate for you. This person here, I feel like it's the little, what is it, like a 4 or 5 year old kid running into running into a room and then seeing what's going on and like turning right around. This person's like, no, I don't think I can do this. Like, I really wanted to. I had every intention. I, drove all this way, or I requested time off of work, or, I showed up to meet you, but I'm going to turn right back around and head back home, If you're talking about the personal questions, Jen, I do personal questions after the general reading with priority to those who tip or donate. So if it was just a matter of there were folks that had tipped, that's how they get on the list. Otherwise, I also sometimes add questions that are very like spiritual growth driven. But I would ask that you not feel like entitled to free personal questions. Nice try, Jim. Yeah, that's how I choose them. Hello, Third Eye. How are you doing? So we've got Judgment. I think this is, for the majority of you, someone who wants to get into a new connection or go back to an old one, and they're not entirely sure. There's an obligation or a date, like an event, and it's like, actually, I can't do that because I'm torn. Either I feel a sense of obligation to someone, and then I also feel like it could really break my heart to see someone in that situation, or I'm trying to decide who I want to be with, and I change my mind like partway through. That generally doesn't go very well. Hello, Lauren. How's it going? Jen, if you don't mind screenshotting that for me and emailing me, I have some really great moderators that help keep me in check just in case something gets missed, but I don't remember seeing that. I've had a couple of folks where that did happen. Just like take a screenshot of where their super chat was, and then I can do that on the next reading. Hey, Michael, if it's not for you, I pray that you move and find to a different channel that works for you, okay? We like to keep the live chat tolerant of various beliefs, okay? Hello, Free, how you doing? Hello, Amber. Thank you, Jen, I appreciate that. Are you saying you've sent gifts as opposed to the super chat? The super chat would be what gets you on the list. Maybe that's the difference. Because I actually don't really know, if I'm honest, I don't really know that the gift element goes into, how do I say this? YouTube takes a lot of that. It's probably the easiest way to go with that. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Amelia. From Sweden. Oh, that's awesome. I have a deep love for Norway, and I know that's a totally different country, but that part of the world is so delightful. Sadly, I have not been in Sweden. I have been in Copenhagen and like Bergen primarily, but hey, you guys. It's like not 7 a.m. yet, so let's just like chill out with the religious judgment here, okay? We've got the King of Wands in the reverse. See, here's the problem. This is someone who is trying to make a decision and is pulled in different directions because one of them is like the more fun, the more like makes my heart race kind of thing. And the other one is a sense of obligation or responsibility. It's like, I know I'm going to have problems with this King of Cups if I don't do what I'm supposed to do by them. You know, again, this could take a couple of different forms for you, but this is like, no, I'm gonna be there, I'll be reliable, I'll be helping you move, or, you know, be there on your big day. And then they're like, oh, but this really hot person asked me out on a date. My ex just invited me to a concert. So I feel like there is this disappointment or this conversation that gets a little bit out of hand because someone says, just kidding, I'm actually not available, or I'm not going to prioritize you, or I've chosen somebody different, right? I probably should be a little bit clearer with that. They've just added gifts since I got kind of used to that, you know? Hello. How's it going, Spree? Seems like maybe a subject matter for a different channel. But, you know, if you have any takers. This is the Graffiti Tarot. We've got the Emperor in the reverse, and again with the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So part of the problem here is we have somebody that doesn't have a lot of self-control. We have somebody that is easily influenced, right? Have you ever like asked somebody, well, I guess it's like basically the same thing as I've described a few times. It's just a matter of whether or not you stick to your guns when things get a little bit difficult, right? If I were to ask if you're available on the 18th to hang out and you say, yeah, totally. And then on the 17th you say, oops, I forgot to tell you that there was a chance that this friend was going to come into town and now they're in town and I can't do anything. Like I would be irritated because I feel like at some point you found out that your friend was going to be in town and you could have told me, hey, it might be better if we like reschedule this, right? This is somebody who it's like, I can see that there's going to be a problem. I can see that maybe I'm going to potentially be tempted to go somewhere else or be with someone else. But I don't know. Not going to communicate it. Thank you, Pri. I hope you're having a good day so far. I feel torn between traveling or not, although I know financially it's a rough period. What is best for mine and kids' health? Okay. So guidance on traveling versus frugality, perhaps. Yeah, you do want to do what's best. I feel that. All right. I have added that for you. Hello, Con. How are you doing? I don't know what that means, but hello, Daksh. Hello, AJ. How are you doing? Happy Friday, Rachel. What's going on? Hello, Raziel. Good morning, Luke. How are you doing? What else do we have? Six of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, see? I'll be getting that for sure. It turns into, oops, I can't do this. So they're holding on to some secret here. Like, guess what? There's a risk to this plan. There's something here that may not go very well, but I'm hiding it. I don't want you to know about it. Does this look like somebody who's telling everybody their secrets? No. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is something that has time where you could address this, right? If you're, keeping a roster and you're talking to multiple people, if you know of like a birth date or a, family trip, whatever it might be, somebody who's moving, right? There's this understanding of something in the distance. And I know that it could potentially be problematic because I might get horny and want to meet up with my ex. That's what it looks like, you guys. Ace of Cups or some new person. But this isn't love. Do you want to know how I know? Because we have the King of Wands in the reverse. This would be promiscuous. We'll go with that. And the Ace of Cups in the reverse. This is like somebody not focusing on the emotional element of a connection at all, or perhaps could also be seen as somebody who is lacking in self-respect. I'm going to go there because sometimes that's a thing, right? And with the Three of Pentacles, this is, I feel, someone who's kept like a little group. Okay, so I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do that person, right? It depends on whether or not this is about obligation to somebody or choosing between two potential lovers. Seven of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Are there any redeemable qualities here? My. Okay. sometimes we forget to say things that are useful or helpful bits of information for people that we care about. And when that situation happens, you usually have someone who's going to apologize profusely, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't tell you that I ate your leftovers, something like that. And there's that like genuine concern, like, oh man, I really should have thought of that beforehand. I wish that I had. This is like, yeah, there might be ish that hits the fan, but that's okay. It does that like every Friday. It's okay. This person doesn't seem to be too concerned about the potential consequences of backing out, right? Sorry, I can't help you move will potentially cost someone, like $200-$300 or sleeping on a floor because they can't move anything, right? There's this whatever happens to you, but like I couldn't be bothered to tell you what was going on. Good morning, Francisco. How are you doing? Yes, does sound more like a window shopper than a person in a dedicated relationship. I agree. Raziel, you got any fun plans for the weekend? I'm glad you're feeling more like yourself. We got the Hermit, Queen of Wands in the reverse. We are just getting all the queens in the reverse. Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. We got Queen of Cups in the reverse twice, actually. High Priestess in the reverse. Man, this is a rough one. Okay. And the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. So here's what's going on, y'all. This is where the imagery really helps. You see our Hermit over here? Yeah, this is somebody who's able to discover something. And this is someone who may even find two people getting it on, Oh, this is awkward. So this doesn't have to be like literal translation. You don't go to your uncle's birthday party and as a result, the person that you canceled on walks in on. It doesn't have to be that literal. Let's hope not. This is more so saying, you tell me that you can't do this or that you've chosen something else or that you're just, too busy. And then I find out what actually happened. There was this chick that I worked with ages ago and she was like nonstop partying. I was like, are you still drunk right now? At 8:30 in the morning? Yeah, maybe. She called in sick one day and I feel like it was like 3 in the morning when she did the calling in sick, which was interesting. And then had the cojones to go on social media like 8 hours later, like in the middle of the workday, and have like pictures posted that we could all, well, not all, but like the people that were friends with her on social media were like, oh, I guess she just had plans today. It looks like she's at a baseball game with some dude named Derek. So one of the coworkers just sent her a text like, hey, how'd you meet Derek? He's cute. I think she learned a little bit of a lesson. This is somebody who is not necessarily concerned about the fallout, remember? They're just kind of like, you might get mad at me, whatever. So it makes sense that they'd be out here like, not trying to be cautious about what's really going on. So they might have thought that it was just easy to like cancel whatever they were doing or break someone's heart to choose another person, but they're not doing even like the littlest bit of effort to make sure that that cover-up story or that thing that they told someone else is not blatantly obvious, right, to everybody. Hello, Renee, how are you doing? That's fair, Razia. Oh, breakfast? I don't know. Ooh. Entirely possible it'll be a bagel. Did you ask me that just so that I would like show off the Minnesota accent? It used to be worse. We've got the Eight of Swords in the reverse, Temperance, and Devil in the reverse. Okay, so you might be the person they're canceling on. You might be the one that's like, I thought you were going to be there, or I thought you were going to choose me. And when you realize how much this person doesn't really put in time, even if it's 30 seconds to send a text message and say, hey, this might not be the best date for us to like go to the yard sale, you know, whatever it is. You might be looking at this as, hey, I actually think I might be better off without this person because they don't seem to really care about what happens to me, you know? Like, rejection is protection. It's cliche. A lot of people say it, but a lot of people say it because it like has some merit, you know? Sometimes things just don't work out because that person is not ready to approach whatever your dynamic is in a mature and respectful way. And if they're not, then are you really losing out on that much? Oh, shucks, did get my heart broken. Or, you know, didn't get to teach someone how to treat humans. Oh, weird. It says right here that in romantic relationships, people prefer not to be lied to. You know, like silly little things like that. You're just kind of like, you don't really need to be the person to teach this individual. Six of Wands in the reverse, Knight of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. Sometimes, you know, you have to be strategic about when you communicate that things aren't working out or that something needs to be altered. This is a case of I had multiple chances to communicate and I decided to keep it to myself. I don't want to tell you that I'm interested in someone else, or I don't want to tell you that I can't make it because I made other plans. I don't want to tell you that helping you move makes me feel, I don't know, lazy. So I'm going to find any excuse possible, right? You can usually tell. Queen of Wands in the reverse again. Actually clarifying the Queen of Wands in the reverse the first time. I don't know if you saw her appropriately. That is, it's not a very friendly looking individual, I won't lie. You know, we got somebody here who's just kind of like, it's all about me. I had a friend, just the one, in middle school, and she was just a little bit me. I think her parents were maybe encouraging that. And I remember at one point talking about my friend to my mom and saying, yeah, she just thinks that the entire world revolves around her butt. My mom liked that saying. She thought it was funny. It's not, I can't take credit for it, but this is like someone who's not really very good at anticipating if I do or say this, or if I, you know, cancel on this person, that might be a big inconvenience to them. They're so wrapped up in what they want and what they've got going on that they're not willing to take that time, right? Nine of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. So this starts off as being frustrated, right? I can't believe you would do that. You told me you would be there, or you told me you were, you know, interested in, I don't know, going on this trip. Whatever the changed decision is, whatever the, oops, sorry, I can't, it seems to be motivated by something selfish and probably related to a piece of, I can't remember, how mad do you get YouTube if I say, well, if I say piece of butt, that's just like weird, man. They're trying to get laid. I really don't see it being anything other than that. I'm sorry. They might be canceling on another person they could potentially have that fun with for a different person, or they might be canceling a less physical, no? Moving is still very physical, less intimate activity. And initially, whoever is getting canceled on, it's like, this is a loss. I don't want this to go this way. What can I do to change this? And then you realize, actually, this might be okay. This might be a slice of cake. Rachel, you're good. Hello, Dino. How are you doing? This is somebody who's not realizing that at a certain point, they keep treating people this way. They're not going to have, you know, a support group, or they're not going to have very quality people around them. So whoever has been rejected, our hermit individual, at some point, this is going to be like, you know what? You did me a favor, because if you can't communicate that, then what other things are challenging for you, right? Tying your shoes? I'm just kidding. Sorry. Sometimes I'm a little bit of a jerk. You got to communicate what you want, what you don't want, and be respectful of people's time, right? Francisca AHO, una leyenda en español, pero solamente como cuestión personal. No, ¿cómo se dice? Una leyenda completa? Just because I know there's probably a few people who'd be like, Carmen, I didn't know that it was a requirement to speak Spanish to watch your channel. And also, you know, there are legitimately some things that I don't know in Spanish for the tarot, and I can deal with that. I could learn it. So look, Nine of Cups is our hermit individual. This is somebody who's like, you know what, the other thing didn't work out, but it's okay. There's more fish in the sea. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Plus, I caught the ick now. I don't like that person anymore. You may initially be feeling rejected if you are this hermit. Like, man, I thought that was going to be a really cool time. And then you're going to find out some information that makes you go, so glad I missed out on that one. This is a bunch of drama. Not worth it. Thank you. Hey, I watched Pan's Labyrinth. That is a good movie. I do like it when I'm watching I Love Lucy, and, you know, obviously Ricky will speak Spanish from time to time, but especially if there's, like, his family members are there, it's the story where they met in Cuba, you know, whatever. I love it when there's the Spanish backdrop to it. Five of Swords and the Two of Cups in the reverse. If somebody wants to ruin the growing connection between the two of you, the more you go through that, the more you realize, thank you for saving me the time. Because if you can just like go ahead and show me if you're a clown or not, like right away, that would be great, because then I can go spend time elsewhere or on myself, you know? Proceed. You want to like make a fool of yourself, that will help me make my decision. You know, sometimes another person making the decision to remove themselves from your life is solid. It's a great thing. Hello, Lee. How are you doing? Absolutely. I've added you to the list. Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Let's get some oracle cards. What do we want here? What do we want? Brains. When do we want it? Brains. Sorry. That was from the zombie pub crawl I went on a very long time ago. This is the situation. It's probably from like a movie or something though, right? Or is that just somebody being funny? All right, situations deck. Is this person gonna like regret not choosing you? Is that what's gonna happen here? That would be adorbs. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you've got abs or if you're a lady. You are coming through as the divine masculine, which makes a lot of sense because you were dealing with an emperor in the reverse. And you learn from this situation how to make sure that you don't give power to somebody who does not have that like ability to deal with that power. The forbidden love thing, this is like the, oh, you're really like attractive, or man, it would be really fun to spend time with you, but is there like a possibility for long term? Probably not. This is someone who was just kind of like unwilling to accept maybe those signs, or unwilling to accept the responsibility to communicate, hey, I don't see this as being like long term. So we've got searching and threatened. For some of you, this hermit individual, again, that could be you, might feel the need to do a lot of investigation, like that hermit energy, right? I want to know what happened. What was it that you're really doing? Are you really alone? Are you hanging out with somebody else? Why won't you tell me? And I'm going to tell you not to get too invested in that. Unless, you know, you've got like a crime series and you're already like, you got all the tools and everything anyways, go for it. There is time that you cannot recover if you get a little bit lost trying to explain the actions of a person who is unpredictable. There are people in this world who make stupid decisions every day, and we cannot possibly understand all of them. Why? Because you're too smart for it. That's why. You'd be like, okay, but if this, then that, so why did they do that? And it's like, no, but you're talking about a person who doesn't really care about logic. Don't waste your time trying to understand why people make dumb decisions. And also don't be too quick to say it's because they're dumb. You know, we all go through certain things, right? But it's sometimes just adding torture to the experience by trying to figure out what you did wrong, when the reality is it probably didn't matter what you did. This person's maybe just a little bit toxic. This person would have treated anyone that way. So don't weigh yourself down with culpability. You want to make sure that you're looking at what you can learn from the situation. Is there something I could have done better? Is there something that I ignored as far as a red flag? Did I get good advice from a friend and I was like, you don't know what you're talking about, this person's great? What can you learn from the situation? It's the biggest thing you can take away from it, right? And don't feel like it's always you being undesirable, right? That's the trap that some people fall in, and then they feel like the only person who could make them feel valuable again is that person who rejected them. And I really don't want you to fall into that, because you have value whether or not this person's willing to see it or appreciate it. Again, you know, their loss. So I do think you're going to get something here that really proves for you, you know what am I all upset about? Like, this was not going to be something that would really go the distance. So I need to be more cautious about what I'm investing my time in and who I decide to trust. Because this was somebody that wasn't willing to be that trusting partner, or, you know, didn't feel like you could actually be in love, right? Okay, I think we need to switch to the personal questions. What do we want? We will go with the Bianco Nero. Thank you, Amber. Hello, April. Yeah, it's almost 34 minutes in. Yeah, switching over. But I feel guilty only doing one live stream yesterday, so don't you worry, I'll be back today. So we have Pre up first. What is the advice for Pre regarding whether or not to travel, considering the mental health needs? Do you even need me for this one? Travel. But I feel like with the Page of Wands in the reverse and the Moon, we have something here about maybe last minute deals or not telling too many people about your travels. It's like keeping things simple. Can I get any great deals because, you know, people are still trying to fill their hotel room or whatever? Can I get overnight travel, right? Like a red-eye flight is going to be a little bit less expensive than something that leaves at like noon, right? This is saying you've got ways that you can minimize the, difficult elements here, whether that's I just can't visit as many people, or, maybe I can't go out to dinner, got to make some food. There's something here where it's like you can make this what works for you and still be able to have that travel. And I do think it's important. So just do what you can to make sure that the finance element of it is as strategic as possible. And I do also feel like you're going to get some sort of confirmation in a song or in a dream regarding this travel. It may even be from like a crow or a raven. Oh, I guess that's a hawk, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's what they associate with the Nine of Pentacles. And then we have the Hierophant. There could be somebody here who tells you that you have to do your travels in a certain way. And I don't believe that that is accurate. Do what you feel is right based on money, your time, and what you think will work out. There's going to be someone who gives you a little bit of resistance. They want you to do something a certain way. And I feel like that's going to make things overly complicated and maybe isn't really worth it. Hello, Charlie. How are you doing? Hello, Baker. What's up? Hello, Nat Nat. All right. So anything specific regarding saving money? Is this someone? No. Okay, so I feel like you're able to find a better way to acquire tickets or reservations. Maybe there's someone who can get you a discount, or maybe you find like a new site, Feel free in the live chat to like say what you use to find travel, airfare or hotel or whatever. I'm not going to do it because I'm getting paid for it, and I don't really do that much anymore, so I don't feel like I'm, like years ago, I was much more flighty. And I would give advice on that, but I just don't feel like I can do much on that. All right. Hello, Grindhard. How you doing? Let's see what we have for Lee, and I wish you luck on that. I do think it's going to be really good for you. All right, what do we have for Lee? Not again, Lee. Oh, Lord. Francisco, why would you say that to me? Now I'm gonna want chorizo. That's not fair. All right. What I really want is pozole. I'm gonna have to find that. If you know what pozole is, feel free to comment that. Three of Wands in the reverse, Justice in the reverse, and the Nine of Wands. Unexpected injustice, unexpected unfair decision that makes someone feel kind of salty. So is this Lee or someone else? Is this Lee? This is not you. This is someone else. Someone without a car, perhaps? Oh, Lord. Ten of Cups. There's a decision regarding living situation that is frustrating for your ex. Losing temper, anger, lashing out. There might be another episode here. Why do I feel like he's gonna threaten someone? I feel like he's gonna like lose his temper and threaten something. And this could cause, like, this could end up with a fine or some consequence with regards to money. So, yeah, I feel like there is an issue here with your ex losing his temper and saying something that is not okay. Some cards for you. Yes, of course, Baker. Thank you for the tip. You're welcome, Free. So, Lee, we have the Three of Pentacles. I do think that this could have something to do with work or money. This could have to do with the fallout with Melissa. But I do think there's going to be a threat, and it's problematic for him. All right, this is the Egyptian Tarot. Let's see what we have for Baker, please. Ten of Cups. Eight of Wands. Chariot in the reverse. Knight of Swords. So this could be regarding family or your living situation, but I see there being fast communication about a problem. And I feel like this is something that you can address. This is like when you hear about this, it's going to be like, oh gosh, that's like obnoxious, or that's going to make everything impossible. It creates this instability. And look at you. You've turned into a crocodile and you're trapped by swords. But don't let that fool you. If you are a fan of I Love Lucy, just picture that scene with Tennessee Ernie, right? Was that his name? And they break out of the jail. I feel like there's a choice that you're able to make when you first get this information regarding family or living situation. And when you make this decision, you've got the information you need, but when you don't like let it fester, then you are able to avoid some issue here. So I feel like you're going to have this like burst of motivation, and you're going to be like, I know exactly what I need to do. But when you have that, I know exactly what I need to do, that's when you need to do it. Don't, well, I might eat some Cheetos first and then watch like an episode of X-Files. Nope. You figure out what you need to do, get started, and you'll be all right. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. There's an opportunity here, and it lasts for you, and it gets you into a better situation. So I feel like things are improving for you. It just requires that, you know, you skip the break, or, you know, you act quickly. Hello, Aviator. How are you doing? All right, I'm hungry, so I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to, and I will see you in the next video.